Hello. Trying to see if the stream starts. Okay, stream is started. So, give me a second here. Okay. So, let's go over here. Let's look at the camera for a second now. So, you should be able to hear some music playing. It's a little loud on my end, actually. Alright, today what I want to do, even though I only have like an hour and a half, maybe two, to kind of do this, to kind of work on this, I kind of teased that I would be making a game, or that I could make a game, or that I want to make a game. And I sort of showed the character to a couple of people at my job. And I think I got them excited. And it was totally my intention to work on this game during the summer when I had a little bit more free time. But like, due to a bunch of issues, heat, my back just hurting, and a whole bunch of other random stuff, I just didn't get around to doing it. A lot of it was my back hurting. Like right now my back hurts, but it's not as bad as it was during the summer. And like you might see me stretching and whatnot, but like this is at least, it hurts actually pretty strongly right now, but this is at least like tolerable, where I could at least sort of maybe move around a little bit and I could forget about it for a few minutes. But yeah, so my whole hope here was to make a game for my students. And I just wanted to put like English phrases into the game, or English words, or, you know, the vocabulary into the game. And then basically just make it a game where they choose one or the other. You know, it's a question and then you answer. And I want to have this character, he's like the mascot of the city. And I want to have him in the game, and he's going to be like slashing. He's going to be fighting other cats. He's a cat. He's going to be fighting other cats. I ran into an issue where I use like this online. So if we press play here, actually this isn't even, there's actually two models in here. I just brought that in for the thumbnail. But if I press play here, let's do maximize. I don't even know how to maximize on play. Okay, maximize on play. If I press play here, I've got this little animation going of the character just running there, and that's all good and great. But this isn't actually the character I wanted to use. This is like a stripped down version of that character. So he's like the right character. He's like the right proportions and everything, but he's missing like his face. He's got like a helmet and everything. And his colors, all of his colors. Actually, I don't even know if the character is a boy or a girl, but I'm gonna call it him, or I don't know. I'm just gonna say him. So yeah. But as you can see though, the animation kind of works. It's a little running animation. It's really all I want for to start off with. Okay, so right now all I have is the character. But yeah. There's this site that I always use called Mixamo, and I use it basically to get animations. So I could actually bring that up, I think. Do I still have it open? No, I'll open a new copy of that. It's a website, so I'll just open up a new window here. Go to Mixamo. Here, I'll actually just go with you guys. Hope you guys can see that. Mixamo. And I should already have them imported into the website. So even looking at this, like the import kind of didn't even work right. But it's okay, because once I pick an animation. So you see we have a bunch of different animations on the left here. And let's go with the Cap Warrior one. Is hilarious. So yeah, you can kind of see that he's moving around. His arms are like really short. He's supposed to be like a little chibi character. And this website is designed for like, you know, normal size characters, but it's fine. You can see the animations and that's really the whole point. So the thing is, like, once I took off his hat and all his facial features and everything, the animations work, but it just doesn't work if I use the actual character. So I'm gonna try to do a workaround. Well, first, like today, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna use this version. So we'll close out of this. And what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna reuse some scripts that I have to make it a little bit easier on myself. Okay, so running is my main character. Happy Idol. That should be gone by now. I thought I deleted that. Delete this. Okay, so you can see it says Mixamo Hips there. It's because like this model is from the website. Okay, so I usually set this up in a different way. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to bring in some scripts that I have from another game. Geez, I'm gonna have to look for this. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get the character to be like able to move around. I'm gonna disable gravity and all that stuff. Let me see here. I haven't worked on like any game stuff in quite a while, but hopefully we could get something working here. And I think it's going to be easier for me to just reuse some of my old scripts, because honestly guys, a lot of programming is copying somebody else's code. Like there's going to be a run function, right? Or like a movement function. And there's maybe like, let's say there's three or four different ways to move a character. And once you have that, like there's no reason in writing it out again. Just copy and paste. Or like a lot of people have those things online, so you can just get it from online or something. I mean, granted, you do want to like learn what you're doing, but to be honest, a lot of times it's easier to just get it from online. All right, so right now I'm kind of just looking through my folders to look for a script. Okay, I think I'm in the right folder. And it should be this one. Okay. So I'm gonna copy. I think you guys should be able to see this copy. Yeah, so bam. I changed this to full screen capture so I could like bring up stuff and you guys could see everything. Alright, so this script. So what I'm gonna do is on this character here, this one, I'm gonna highlight him. Let me bring it a little closer. I'm gonna highlight him, and on the right here we have an animator, we have a transform. We could leave that alone. What I'm gonna do is add a couple of more components. So physics, and then I'm gonna add a box collider. I think usually you want to have a capsule collider, but I'm going to use a box collider for simplicity's sake. And I want to use a rigid body. And rigid body, we're going to turn off gravity. And I'll try to explain this in a little bit. And then one more thing I want to add is a script. Existing script. All right, it's called the Dude 3 script. Don't worry about what that means for right now. I'm gonna have to modify the script actually. I mean, we don't really have to just yet. So now that I added the script, I added the rigid body and the box collider. So the box collider is basically what that's gonna do is, sorry, I kind of messed it up there. You guys can see this box I got here. It's like a little green 3D box. It's like transparent. What that's gonna do, that's basically gonna make his hit detection active. So in a video game, when you like get hit, like a bullet collides with your character, and then once that bullet collides with their character, it's basically this box here. And once it goes into that box, it tells the game like, hey, your character should take damage, your character should die, your character should get knocked back, your character, you know, it says a bunch of different things, right? And depending on what you want to do, you can just tell it to do whatever you want it to do, basically. So yeah. So, and then the rigid body, I think what that is, the best way to describe that is it's basically like it's attaching, like, it's almost like, think of it as a box too. It's attaching like a box to your character that allows them to act within physics. So if it runs into another, you know, a wall or something, it's gonna automatically figure out the physics and sort of do that. So in a nutshell, basically that's sort of what it means. That might not be exactly what it is, but that's sort of what it does. That's all you have to worry about. Okay, so tag player, so that's good. Okay, just kind of like looking and just making sure I have stuff set up at least moderately correctly. All right, let's try this and see if it works. Okay, so he's still running, so I'm gonna try to use the arrow keys, and he falls. Okay, so I thought I turned off gravity, but apparently it didn't. So what I'm gonna do here also is I'm gonna go to constraints, and I'm gonna freeze position on the y-axis. So hopefully that'll keep him from falling. And again, I don't really know. Gravity's supposed to be disabled. I don't know why it's not working. So, okay, so he's actually moving really slowly. So, but I'm actually controlling him with my hands here. So he's moving slowly, probably because his scale is really off compared to the previous game that I was working on. So that's not really a problem. All I have to do is like shrink him a little bit. So he's already kind of really small, so let's try to make him point to the size, and he's gonna look weird for a second here. And 0.2, and then let's, wherever the camera is, I'm gonna try to just move that into a better spot. So let's find a camera here. Okay, so for right now, we're just gonna leave the camera like that, but in a bit I'm gonna figure out how to, I'm gonna remind myself how I have my previous character set up, where I actually have like a pivot and the camera can just follow the character. This is weird. The camera in Unity is a little bit different than the camera in Blender. So yeah, by the way, I'm using Unity for this. Okay, so that should be a little bit better, and maybe I can move it closer. Yeah, okay, so you can see here, it's got like this little square here that shows where the camera is. So when I go to that game, it'll sort of show what it looks like in game, and this is just sort of my setup. It's called the scene. I can just set up the entire map, if you will, as a scene. Okay, so let's play this again and see if we can see a difference here. Okay, so he's moving and he is able to move a bit faster. Okay, good. So now we have a character that can move around the screen. But I think in this game, like, he's automatically turning around. But I don't want him to turn around in this game, so I kind of just want him to face forward all the time. And I also don't want him to move forward and back. I just want him to be able to move left and right. The logic of the game is just going to be moving. It's going to be like one of those infinite runner game type of things. Like Subway Surfers or Temple Run or one of those. And I really just want him to be able to move to the left or to the right. So I'm gonna go into the script here, and I'm just gonna adjust some things. I don't really know if I want to. go into... I'm not seeing the actual script that I opened, that I thought I opened. So let me actually organize this a little bit. Make a folder here for scripts. Create folder, scripts. Okay, models and scene. So we have one scene. We have our model here. I'm gonna move this to scripts. And these are our models, even though this is like the running animation. We're just gonna leave that alone. Input button. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the script that just isn't set up for this quite yet. So okay, now I got the script. Okay, so now I'm gonna adjust the script here a little bit on the side. Alright, so move direction, move position, move speed, move direction. That stuff is all good. Body is gravity. Use gravity is false. Is kinematic is true. Huh, interesting. I like all these weird all these weird little tweaks into my script. Okay, so I can't see the screen, it's so tiny. Okay, let me move this a little bit closer to myself. Got so much stuff on this little table. Okay, sorry, I'm like out of frame and everything here. Okay, so what I want to do is actually get rid of some extra logic that I have here for stuff that I'm not really going to be using. Okay. Animator. Yeah, that's fine. That's not really doing anything. And then I just want to change, stop him from changing directions. It's like the last thing I want to do. Okay. If moving else. Okay, he's not gonna be... Yeah, I kind of had my previous game being able to climb a ladder, but this game I don't really want that. I'm just gonna remove a lot of that stuff. Move speed, move direction, move position. I don't know, should I bring this over here? Yeah. You guys can see what I'm actually talking about here. This way I could actually see what's going on the screen. Alright, so yeah, I kind of have a bunch of this stuff. I tried to like name my things so that I could figure out what they are, but it kind of just doesn't really help. Yeah, so like this ladder stuff I'm not gonna need. But for right now, this collision stuff isn't really gonna be doing anything. Move direction. Equal. Okay. Transform that look at. That's what I thought I was getting rid of. Move direction. Transform direction. Okay, so I think that's probably the one. No, transform direction. Move position. Holy crap. Body move position. Okay, so move position I think is what I want. You know what? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna compile this. Because a lot of times when it comes to programming, you're like writing out code and it's kind of hard to even tell what is going on sometimes. What is this? Okay, attached to Unity. Yeah, I think I didn't create this correctly. Dang it. Alright, let me close out of that. The script should be saved. I don't think okay, reloading script. There we go. I didn't include the script properly somehow. So maybe this time it'll work. Hopefully. Yeah, I think I kind of broke this. I need to rebuild. Test the Unity. Why did I break it like that? Oh my god. Build solution. Attach Unity. No, that's not what I want. Okay, I might need to restart. I might need to restart this whole thing. Here. Go back. So let me bring this Mixamo thing back up. Keep that there while this restarts. This way here. Okay. Hopefully this works. Otherwise, I might need to figure out how to reattach the script to the Unity. Oh. I'm surprised that loaded so quickly. Alright, let's try it again. Let's move this out of here. Okay, so that did work. I think when you open Unity, it's just like, it sort of like rescans all the scripts in the folder. Or maybe because I moved it too, but it rescans all the scripts in the folder so that it knows where all the scripts, it attaches all the scripts to the project, and then I could run it from here and actually attach it to Unity. Enable debugging, enable debugging for this. Alright, so let's see if that did anything. And actually, I don't think I even made any of the changes that I wanted to make. Alright, but let's see what happens. Oh no, there's like an update. Man, come on. Are we attached or not? Compiling. We'll make this game window bigger once this finishes. Man, I haven't done this for so long, man. I feel bad. Okay, there we go. Just loaded. All right, let's see. The arrow keys are not doing anything. That might be because I recompiled while it was building. And no, it's not doing anything. Okay, let's see if the script is attached. Double check that. It might have gotten unattached. No, it is attached. Maybe I removed too much stuff from the code. Oh, okay. Moving equals 3 if I have a ladder. The guy commented the wrong part out. Okay, let's try that again. So I mean, I guess it doesn't. I don't really need to comment that out. Oh God, I hope I. Use gravity is true. That's why. Get rid of that. I'm just gonna get rid of that fully, to be honest. It's kinematic. You know what? Don't change is kinematic. Don't ever change. We're not gonna worry about that. Okay, walking equals true, moving equals 2. I think what I'll do is I'll delete this from here up. Okay. And we're not going to use an F actually. Yeah, I'm like messing with this like so much. I feel like I'm gonna break it, but if input equals horizontal or vertical, keep an eye on the chat here. If input equals horizontal or vertical, do any of this stuff. I think transform.lookat is what I want to take out. All right, I think I removed enough stuff. Let's compile this and see if that makes a difference or not. Okay, so it compiled. Let's run it. Okay. Okay. Oh, no, no. Where are you going? Come back. Come back. Okay, so let's try that again. All right, anything I press, he seems to just move forward and not stop. So I think I might need to okay, I understand why. Okay. I just realized if I'm using the rotation, if I have him rotate, that means all he's doing is facing a direction, but he's moving forward regardless of where he's facing. That's not what I want him to do. I want him to face forward. Dang it. I'm gonna have to actually do some coding here. I want it to always be looking forward, but I want him to move in the direction that I want, that I direct them to move. So actually this line of code right here is only controlling the, that should be the Z direction. Okay, Z direction is forward. So I need to move X and Z. So really what I really want to move in is the X direction. Okay, so the way I should do it is if the horizontal input is negative, left. If it's positive, right. Right now, transform.look at this line of code right here. What it's doing is making the model look in whatever direction I give it. So input.getAxis and horizontal and vertical get axis. So like let's say I press up and right, it's gonna take the horizontal and the vertical and just kind of do an upright. So it's creating a vector pointing in that direction and it's moving forward. So I don't want it to do that. And what I want it to do is move direction equals new vector. So up here, new vector, input dot get horizontal. And so it's just making a vector. So essentially a vector is a direction and a, what do you call it? A value. So if it's facing northeast and the value of 1, it'll move northeast at the speed of 1. Well, what I want it to do is I don't want it to change where it's looking. I just want the vector to actually move the character. So if I do a new vector and use the X direction of the horizontal on the D-pad, then left should move it in the negative direction and right should move it in the positive direction. So I think this should work. Okay. Yeah, okay, so he's moving left and right and he's facing forward. So that's good. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to add an object. Like a wall, basically. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this camera up a little bit. Get this light source out of my face. And actually, the direction of the light source, actually that's fine. So move the camera up a little bit, and then let me see if I could face it downward on the x-axis. Yeah, there we go. So now it should have a, yeah, like an overhead view type of thing. Okay, so that's what I want. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a cube, or maybe 2 cubes, one on each side. So game object, 3D object, the cube. Yeah. So I'm just gonna bring this cube over here. I'm gonna change the scale on the X to make it a little bit thinner. I want it to be a wall. And then make it a little shorter actually. And a little bit longer. Actually a little bit wider too. Like maybe here. Okay, and I'm gonna bring it down to the same level as our character here. Cube. So let's call this cube wall. Wall 1. And then it's kind of hard to tell exactly where it is. Okay. Okay, there we go. Go there. And then we're going to just duplicate that. I think that's Shift D. Or Control D. Control D. Okay, and we're going to put a wall on both sides. Let's move it up for right now. Let's give them the same X position, I think, or the same Z position. Z 3.5. 3.5 sounds good. 3.5. Okay, so now they're kind of just in the same. They're the same in the same spot. All right, so what I'm gonna do for these is I'm gonna add another script. I'm just gonna create a new script. So they're gonna need a rigid body too. So let me add a rigid body to this one. And let me add a rigid body here. And then I'm gonna create a script. C# script. Yeah. I'm just gonna call it movement. Oops, I have a caps lock on. Movement. That's gonna be our movement script. It's gonna simulate the movement, right? It's gonna make the wall move towards us so that it looks like we're running, you know, between the walls. All right, so let me go into here. Okay, movement, good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just steal some of the logic from here. We're gonna get the body component. Animator, we're not gonna use an animator for this. Void start. So, oh, whoops, gotta stop this. Shouldn't be running anymore. Okay. And actually, I forgot to turn off gravity for those. So let me do that. But I don't see why it's saying that the code is running. I'm just gonna attach it and then stop it again. And hopefully, okay, good. Now we can paste that code. Okay. And then I have to, I guess, set up a bunch of stuff up here. Rigid body. Oops. And I'm basically just gonna copy all this code here. But I might get rid of some of the stuff. Alright. Boom. So moving, I don't want that. Walking, I don't want that. Move direction, yes. Moving, walking, no. Horizontal. Move speed, move direction. Alright, so I'm gonna just copy my move speed and move direction variables. So let's just copy all this stuff. So I have move speed and move direction. But I also don't want this to be on the joystick control, so let me get rid of this if statement. and the else statement as well. Oops, I think I got rid of too much. Just up to the else. Let's see if I can shift tab this. Oh, that was control tab. Oh, what the heck did I just do? Control tab, shift tab. There we go. Alright, so movement equals new movement. Alright, so I just want this not to move on the horizontal, but on the vertical. So let's make that a 0. Make this a 1. And let's attach and see what happens. Alright, so not only are we gonna attach, we're also gonna attach the script to each object. Movement. And grip. Movement. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh, it's moving the wrong way, so it looks like we're running backwards. Alright, so that was actually funny. Let's turn that into a -1. And then recompile that. Okay, it looks like we're running now. So let's actually move that, both of those a little bit further back, so that it looks a little more like we're running for a longer time. There we go. So it looks like we're running with the appropriate music there. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Just to visually have it like I kind of am picturing in my mind, I'm just gonna separate these out a little bit further. Not quite exactly where I would want it. So let me separate them, bring them a little closer again. Okay, that'll, you know, that's good enough. I kind of want to make another. So actually, now that this is actually already set up properly, I have the walls already coming towards me. So what I want to do is I want to make a floor also. So I'm just gonna copy one of the walls, rename it to floor. I'll keep turning caps lock on, my mistake. I'm gonna rename it to floor. And what I'm gonna do is change the scale on this, make it wider in the X direction. There we go. I'm gonna move it down a little bit. So it's actually the floor. Gonna make it wider, like really wide, and make it longer on the Z direction. There we go. And move it forward like that. Okay, so now let's try that out. Now I kind of need to start using different colors or adding textures or something. But yeah, that's sort of. Oh, he kind of tripped. Oh no. That's so weird. Okay, yeah, so actually one thing I don't think I did was readjust that collision box. Alright, so let me go in here, center, move up to here, I guess. But I still want the size to be bigger because he's big. That's probably too big, actually. Center up. Yeah. Bigger and a little bit longer. Center forward. Bam. Then maybe a little bit wider. I don't know. Oh, whoops, not what I meant to do. Just a little bit wider. There we go. So now his collision box is much better. Okay, so floor's a little bit too low there. That's okay. Maybe I'll just move the walls down. Okay. Let me just try to give this a different color. I don't even know how to do that. Probably need to change the material. Okay, so I think this is it. And this is locked. Alright, so I just need to actually change the material fully. And I don't even have any materials. Maybe I could change it here. See if I could just create a new material then. New material. Here we go. Yeah, let's just call it floor. Floor mats. Okay. Okay, I need to just change the color here. There we go. Let's just make it like a wood color, I guess. And then let's see if we can change the material. Select material. This one. Oh, okay, there we go. That's not really looking woody per se. I honestly don't even know. You know what? Let's make it more of a concrete vibe. Okay, so for the walls, let's make another material. I actually kind of like them being white. Well, this is gonna change eventually. This is just to have it stand out, because let's just call it wall mats, because we can't have everything being white. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to see anything. And I do kind of want the walls to be white, but let's give them a different, give them like a dark blue type of white. Okay. Alright, let's do that one at a time. Material. Select material. Actually, not even. Let's just drag it onto here. It's kind of got like a baby blue type of material. Okay, so let's play that again and see what we look like here. And then also we should be able to move side to side. Okay, cool. I think I want to be able to move a little bit faster. So we're going to change that in the code. But I also just want to make this longer. In the Z direction. Okay, so that's looking decent. So now what I gotta figure out is how to keep spawning these blocks, or because I want the wall to be continuous. Like maybe there's gonna be obstacles. I don't really know if I really want that, to be honest, because I feel like it's making the game, it'll make the game more complicated. But what I do want is it to move a little bit faster. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the move speed here. I'm gonna like double that. What the heck did I just do? I'm gonna double that speed, 30 instead of 15. For some reason the semicolon keeps disappearing. Here I might want to even make it like 50 or something. Build errors. Oh, they did it again. kind of annoying. I have a Japanese keyboard, so the keys are like different. I should really just put it into Japanese mode because it's in American mode, like standard English mode. So the keys aren't exactly, they're mostly right, but they're not exactly all right. So this should give it a little bit of a different speed. Yeah, okay, that might be way too fast for... that's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty good. Alright, make these walls a little bit longer too. Okay, so now that we have that, I want to try to figure out how to, because I want the wall to be like endless looking, but what I really would have to do is keep like respawning the same wall. Okay, so I know how to do that. What we're gonna want to do is make this a prefab. In fact, we won't even need two walls. We could just use one wall. And then have a spawner. So okay, it's kind of depending on the camera. Let's pause this. Or I guess we can't really pause like that. I want it to kind of spawn at the horizon over there so that it looks like it's like fully continuous. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an empty game object. No, hold on. All right, let's make the wall a prefab. I think I could do that by just making, let me make a folder for prefabs. Okay, then all I have to do is drag this wall down here to that folder, and now it's a prefab. So the good thing about a prefab is now I can actually delete that, I think, but I can drag this up here, and it's going to be the same exact wall as these other ones. What's the difference between doing that and just copying it? Well, okay. Before I answer that, so this was exactly the same. It has the same collider, the rigid body, the script, and everything. Okay, so why do we do a prefab instead of just doing a copy? Because we want the game to be able to create the same object while the game is running. And then I might want to add something else to the script here, so that when the objects get to a certain point over here, they just delete, because we won't really be needing them at that point. And then we do that so that the game doesn't get overloaded with generating a million walls. I'm like freezing right now. I'm turning on this AC. Okay, so one thing else that we can actually do here is we can actually just have the game view side by side to our scene. Make this a little smaller, so that we can sort of see both things at once. Alright, yeah, I gotta like not maximize. Yeah, we should be able to see both things side by side here. It kind of had a hiccup there. Yeah, so you can see it's like behind them, so you're not seeing it in the game view, but you can still see it in the scene view. And if I rotate this, you can see that it's still kind of going. Okay. So, you know what, instead of trying to, I'm like in my mind, I'm trying to do this like perfectly. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just, and you know what? Maybe I might be able to, instead of have this as a prefab, just a wall, I'm gonna just make the whole thing a prefab. I'm gonna set this up a little nicer here, so that this thing is about the same size as the other one, as the walls. For that, what I could actually just do is copy one of the walls, position, rotation, the Z position. The Z position 14.03. So let's make everything 14. 14. And 14. Okay, so probably want the scale to be the same for everybody. So 10, 10, and 10. 10, 10, and 10. Okay, so they should be exactly the same length because I did it by number. 10 scale on the X and scale on the Y. I think the Y is probably the same, right? The X is different. Missing. What does missing mean? It's fine. We still have wall 2 there. Okay, so let me save that again. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the walls a child to the floor and make those a prefab. So now I should be able to spawn the whole thing. Okay. But I think ultimately what I want to end up being able to do is to make the, so actually I should be able to now open this from here. Yeah. And then I will want to make the walls and the floor a little bit more interesting. Make the walls taller and whatnot. So, okay, I've been going for an hour. I don't want to stay up too late because I want to try to do some stuff tomorrow. But I want to like continue streaming this and keep working on this tomorrow. Okay. So that I can finish it. What is this like? How do I unmark this as a prefab now? Now it's kind of like acting like the prefab is missing. Alright, you know what I'm gonna do? Just gonna make wall its own prefab. I can't. Okay. Never mind then. Parameter moving that doesn't exist. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna try to do now is just have this thing spawn a floor. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll create an object, an empty object, and just call it the spawner. And I will give it the same position as the floor. So y equals -0.8, 0.18, 0.18. Okay, good. The x 3.42. and the Z. The Z is going to be different. Okay, so that's fine. But I'm going to put this over here somewhere. And I'm going to have it spawn. Let's see if I can remember how to spawn stuff. So it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to add a component. I'm going to go to scripts and go ahead and create a new script. And we're going to call this the floor spawner. Okay. So we're going to go to spawner. We're going to add components, script, and floor spawner script. Alright, so now we have to figure out how to spawn. Script, floor spawner. And I think I have a spawn in here actually. So I could probably steal that. Give me a second here. Kinda. Public game object Dyna. Victor.0, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. And open up the floor spawner. By the way, guys, I think I'm doing like global variables and stuff like that. I don't really care. So I'm gonna just rename this to floor. And then floor pause. Okay, so let's see what else I did this. So I think the word I'm looking for is instantiate. Okay. Instantiate. And I think I actually might have removed that. Oh no, here it is. Alright, so every so often it's gonna just... Yeah, it doesn't... Actually, this isn't gonna really be doing much. All it's gonna do is create the object. And then the object is gonna have its own logic to it. Floor. And then floor position. Oops. That's what happened before. I had the insert key pressed down, which is kind of annoying when you're programming. I guess it's annoying when you're typing in general. Okay, so we want that to keep spawning, so that's gonna spawn once. But we want that to keep spawning on the timer. A lot of times, like, I kind of learned a lot of programming stuff on my own. So what I would think to do is to have an integer and have it count up to, like, I don't know, 50 or something. And when it hits 50, just do the spawn and then just reset to 0. But I think there's probably a better way to do that, considering that's based, like, if I do an integer, that's not going to be, it's not going to go by time, it's going to go by frames. So the danger in doing that is if you play this on like a phone or something, then you play it on the computer, the timing is going to be different. But for simplicity's sake, let's just do it with an integer. Unless I can find something with time in it. Because sometimes time is kind of annoying to have to deal with. No, I don't have anything to do with time. So let me just make an int spawn timer equals 0. God, I don't know what key is equal. Okay, there's equal 0. I clicked insert by mistake. And so what I'm gonna do is in the object statement here, I'm just gonna say if spawn timer equals 50. Dang, this keyboard, man. I like having this keyboard, but you know what? I think I will set it to, once I'm done here, I'm gonna set it to Japanese mode. If spawn timer equals 50. Do that, and then set spawn timer back to 0. And then spawn timer ++. Can I do ++ in C#? I don't really know. Alright, so attached to Unity. If we go back to Unity, hopefully this should work. Alright. Yeah, the timing might be weird. Alright, there's already one there, so it might overlap there. Okay, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh, I didn't assign the object. Okay, so let's go back to the spawner here. Oh, spawner. And then the object here is not assigned. So if I click object. Now, oh Jesus. What shouldn't it be? Prefab. Lore. Okay, I think that's the prefab. Alright, so now let's try that again. Try running it again. Oh no, what is going on? Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, that went terribly wrong, but it's actually pretty cool. And yeah, that's actually really cool. Okay, so that timer is way too fast. Alright, so let's make it more like 500. And I think I actually need to move the spawner further back. It's not spawning at the spawner, it's spawning at 0, 0, 0, I think. So I need to not set this to 0 here. Spawner. Vector 3.0. Floor pause. Okay, yeah, no. I need to spawn it at the location of the spawner. I think I should have the code here for that. Dynapause. Dynapause. Okay, this dot transform dot position. Alright. So gladly, thankfully, I'm able to just reuse code. Okay, so I think I could put that there, and I just changed that to floor pause. No, actually, let's try it here. These things get a little weird when it comes to where you put the code. Because sometimes it'll be like, oh no, yeah, you're calling this before you actually start the function, so it's just not gonna work. So all right, let's see what happens now. Okay, oh, there, it spawned one. So 500, 500 is not bad. Okay, so maybe like 300 or so. All right, so that's cool. It looks like we're actually running. So if we zoom in on our character here, it looks like it's spawning in a pretty good spot too. Not perfect, but like once you're like focused on the game, you're not really gonna care about that there. All right, so then the other thing is that I want to like despawn this. So I just want to say like whenever it reaches a certain, you know, position, just delete it. So let's try to do that. It's gonna be on the movement script. Yeah, my back is hurting. Okay, so on the movement script, just say something like if body that move position. That's the that. All right. If this dot transform that position dot like X or something, or Z, let's just say. I don't know if I'm allowed to do a comparison statement with that. Z, yeah, equals. Let's see. So let's play this. Z minus 10, let's just say. Equals minus 10. Or how about less than? Less than minus 10. And this dot I think it's like this dot delete or something like that. This dot or destroy. Let me see here. Destroy object unity. Object dot destroy. Maybe this dot object dot destroy. Object game object dot destroy. Oh. Oh, destroy this, maybe? Destroy. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Destroy this. Okay. So let's attach to Unity. See if that works. Okay, play this. Yeah, man, I feel rusty, but at the same time... Oh, it's destroyed, but it's still there. What the heck is this, man? Why does it, like, stretch out like that? Alright. Again, that's pretty cool, though. I feel like all that got destroyed was the script, not the object. Yeah, it removes the script instance from the game object. Yeah, no. Destroy game object. Is it like destroy this, that game object? Let's try destroy game object. Let's try game object first and then destroy this dot game object. So see, okay, that worked. Destroy game object. I think like at some point they updated it so it's automatically implied that it's this dot game object. Okay, so that's actually looking pretty cool. So let's maximize this. And we actually have a game. Okay, it's a little bit broken. It's a little broken. I could see the break. But we actually have a game sort of going. I think that's probably why I want to use time and not integer. That's weird. I maximize this window and it starts messing up. And then I minimize it and it's fine. That doesn't make sense. That does not make any sense. What the heck? Because that shouldn't change the position of anything. Or actually, it looks like it's just spawning faster now. That makes no sense. Okay, so the variable floor for floor spawner has not been assigned yet. Not for the script itself, maybe? Okay, yeah. Floor. That really should not make a difference. And it's still happening. Unmaximize. That's so weird. If it's not maximized, it's fine. All right, let's not maximize this then. Let's try to play like this. All right, wee. Yeah, so basically what I want to have is it's going to ask a question. Not even ask a question. It might just show a picture. And then you have to sort of answer based on the picture. So, or maybe it'll say a sentence like, I can swim well. And then on the right, it's going to have a picture of someone swimming badly. And then on the right, on the left, it's going to be someone swimming well. And then you have like whatever amount of time to move to the left or move to the right. Then I kind of want it, maybe this is too ambitious, but I kind of want it to like, once you get the right answer, it's going to play an animation of like you attacking one of the enemies. Okay, so what I can do, yeah, this freaking, all right, so this is probably where I want to leave off today. Like, I feel like I did enough for today. Wow. Okay, so some of these collisions, yeah, no. I feel like I did enough of what I wanted to do for today, but that weird little issue of it messing up when I maximize, it's really weird. Actually, I want to freeze rotation too. It's really, really weird. Kinematic. This is not a kinematic. I feel like I should make everything a kinematic. But that's something for another day, I think. Let me just try to change this timer here. And I should have another script somewhere. I think it's this view script. Okay. I'm sorry about this ridiculous code I got going on here. Destroy. Okay, this. Detonate is greater than 1.6. Timer. Detonate is greater than 1.6. Float detonate. Timer and timer. Float is a detonate. Alright, detonate is a float. Detonate plus equals delta time. Okay, so that's what I can do. Time that delta time. Okay, so time. Okay. So it looks like I don't really even need to use any setup. A lot of times you have to set up a function like time, but apparently I don't even have to do that. So let's make int spawn timer a float. So now it should be based on time. Spawn timer is 0. And then here, this plus, maybe this plus is not kosher. Plus equals time dot delta time. And I think it's based on seconds. So maybe every 3 seconds I want it to spawn. Okay. Let's try that. So that was actually easier than I thought it was. Okay. Run this again. One, 2, 3. Okay, delta time is not working. Oh, how about this? 3.0. If it's greater than or equal to, I think that might be a little bit too precise. It's greater than or equal to 3. So as soon as it hits 3 or passes 3, it'll do the thing. Because I feel like if I use delta time, then it's going by frames and it might add more than 0.1 or whatever. And it might not hit 3 exactly. So I'm going to say greater than or equal to 3. Let's try that. Because I think delta time is definitely seconds. Two, three, 1, 2, 3. That's actually pretty good. But again, I think we still have this issue where if we touch a wall, it'll do crazy stuff like that. It shouldn't, the scale of the wall shouldn't change. I don't understand why it's like becoming like a long flat object. And I'm moving backwards too. Alright, let's see what happens if we maximize this. I mean, it looks like it's... I see it's sort of weirdly changing the timing. Or like the length or something. That is so weird, man. This shouldn't be happening. Alright. I wanted to tighten up the timing so that it looks like one continuous floor. But I feel like as soon as I hit maximize, it's gonna mess up. I don't really know what to do to fix that. But that's fine. The whole point is to... Let me go to the prefabs. The whole point is to just... I just want to get a working game. In terms of like... fixing all these weird bugs. I feel like it's better to do that at the end. I mean, in the professional sense, it's probably not better to do that at the end. It's probably better to fix it along the way. But for myself, if I want to actually finish this project, I want to actually add all the pieces to the game. And then like figure it out, because otherwise I'm just going to try to be a perfectionist and never get anything done. So while I'm here, I'm going to freeze position, freeze rotation for all of this stuff. I don't want it to rotate, and I'm gonna see if that changes anything. Okay, and then same thing for these guys. Freeze rotation. Freeze rotation. Freeze rotation. Let's see if that does anything. Because it still also doesn't have freeze position, but I don't really want the position to be frozen. Okay, so I could freeze the Y position and the X position. Okay, so that actually seems like it's working. So freeze Y and X. Freeze X and Y. Freeze X and Y. Okay. And then back out of this. Go here. Freeze X and Y. Oh, that carried through. Okay, good. I think they made a change to Unity, because now, like, this object is in the scene and it recognizes itself as a prefab. But that didn't used to happen. So I kind of want to save the spawner as a prefab too. But I don't need to do that. Alright, so let's see now. Now that I bump into this stuff, it shouldn't move at all. But I feel like it's gonna affect my character now. Yeah, the wall doesn't move, so that's good. And my character's actually not getting messed up, so. Alright, so actually what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add back the front and back movement, but what I'm gonna do is just limit it so that you can't run like all the way up. You could just adjust it forward and back a little bit just so that, I don't know, you could get yourself into a better position. Alright, let's try to maximize this and see what happens. And if it works, that's great. If it doesn't work, we're probably screwed anyway. But actually maximize it looks a little bit more perfect. Oh man, that was weird. Actually, it seems like it's aligning a little bit better now. Okay, now it looks like a continuous thing. So yeah, this is gonna be sort of my hardest thing to figure out. Look at that, what the heck is going on? Is how to get this to look seamless, because I have no idea how to do that. For some reason I have momentum on the X. Oh, well, bye. This is sort of the weird thing about game developing. Alright, I think I'm gonna finish there. I'm happy where that's at. That's actually way more than I thought I would get done. It was a kind of a bumpy start there, but that's way more than I thought I would get done, so. Let me end there. Then tomorrow I'm gonna try to add the actual game logic where it kind of just displays an image or displays a question, and then you have to just move to the right area. So I think the way that I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna have an object spawn to show the picture or the question, and then it's gonna have like boxes, collision detection on the right and on the left. So if you move to those, it's gonna just input that as the answer. And then once you input the answer, like maybe I'll give it a little bit of time to be like, lock in the answer or something like that. Maybe I won't. But then it's gonna have like some kind of countdown to say like, okay, 3, 2, 1, here's the answer, bam. And then maybe I'll have like a score. Okay, so I'll just end that there. Thanks for everybody that watched. It looks like 11 people just kind of randomly watched for like a little bit, like a minute or something. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll continue this tomorrow, and we'll start off from where we are at now, and hopefully we get pretty far. I think we'll have more time tomorrow too, so that should be good.